This is Bunbury, and today we continue our subscriber-suggested series discussing the individual defensive components. Thus far, we've neglected the auto turret, so let's jump straight in by selecting it and clicking Info. Here we see at level 2, the health is at 864. I have it boosted to well over 100. And the DPS is 90 by default, and I have it just under 130 damage per second with my security room boost. So at the bottom we read that it locks on and slowly turns to a target, and then it fires a stream of bullets that damage all the enemies in a line. Now this implies a few things. One, let's put this in a location that's not going to be as beneficial. Even if I were to rotate the auto turret like so it's kind of in a straight line here in the middle of my control room, the problem I'm going to run into is if someone comes from this door, it will take a pretty good amount of time for it to, so you can see how quickly it's moving. That's how quickly it's going to rotate and lock onto someone over here. If it's a supervillain, for example, they're going to be well into the room doing a ton of damage and very quickly taking out the auto turret before it can shoot more than like 2 times. So it's really not going to do too much there. But I see this all the time, and I welcome people to put their auto turret in the control room because it's just too easy to take out. It's for me, in my opinion, it's kind of a wasted element if you leave it there, unless of course you have it in such a way. For example, if someone forced this door to be closed permanently and the only doors that were open were down here, and you did something like this, maybe, but it's still pretty easy to nuke. It's really easy to get those remote control explosives and take it out. So by way of foreshadowing, the remote control explosives are probably the biggest threat that your auto turret is going to face, other than supervillains like the Riddler or the Scarecrow, because they can shoot a super long ways and zap it or deactivate it, or in the case of the Scarecrow, jump to it and take it out in 0.0 second. So here's how I have my auto turret buried, and I would suggest doing something similar. You don't have to do anything, you know, there's a number of ways of going about this, but I have completely closed off access through 4 barricades, and then I have 4 more barricades higher up. And the logic behind this is often people will drill a hole through these doors all the way into this room because they know, even though I have my jammers here so they can't actually see what's in this room, I'm a level 29. Obviously I have an auto turret. It's a long security room, so obviously the auto turret's going to be at this end. And what a lot of people will do is they'll deliberately come through this door, open all of these doors, and send a remote control explosive targeting right here. Now this barricade chain forces them to need to break this one and break this one to actually get to the auto turret. So one of a few things is going to happen. Either they're going to waste a bunch of troops trying to get this way open, or they're going to waste a bunch of remote control explosives. So you really just want to slow them down in getting to the auto turret, and that allows you to do more damage every time they walk into the room. The other thing I do is I have some supporting troops here. I have a bodyguard level 3 who's going to soak up hits while my sentries and the auto turret do their thing. I also have a number of explosive oil barrels and cryo barrels, etc. And I have a trickle of troops coming in from a room above, so that it's just causing as much chaos as I can when they enter this room. Now, do people throw grenades in and take out the cryo barrel, etc.? Yeah, they do that all the time. So the biggest thing is to try to slow them down and force them to use, for example, Harley use her jack-in-the-box when entering the room. You don't want her to get the jack-in-the-box this far. You want to keep everyone in this area as much as possible. So even if they have to run into this room and deal with all of this, and then they're running back into this room, but every time they pass through here, the auto turret is oriented in such a way that it is doing damage. It's not backwards, you know, it doesn't have to turn around and find the troops. Let me just reorient this in case the glitch is still in effect. I haven't checked. But anyway, this is how I'm using my auto turret, and let me show you a defense, a previous defense. I've since lost a few because I've been messing with a few other. Let me see. Wow, he did not do well. I don't know that I've seen this one. I'm guessing because he completely lost. I'm guessing he went straight for the loot, and so we will enjoy this defense together. So you can see here. Well, you can't see yet, but I have things a little bit different. Instead of having my... I'll discuss this while... Yeah, he's coming up this way. I'll discuss while he gets up here. Instead of having my door, my security door open up here, just like this one, I have it in the middle in this defense. And so I've just recently changed that up a bit. So let's fast forward, because this is kind of boring. I'm not too worried about him gassing there, because that's good news for me. Why, you might ask? Because those troops were dead anyways. One jack-in-the-box and they were gone. And so my assessment is if he gasses, he has fewer remote control explosives. So there he goes. He's going to blow open the cryo barrel. As much time as he wants to take. Wow, blowing himself up with Harley. Blowing Harley up. That's good news for me. So he's going to enter. And look, as soon as he entered, I was locked on and ready to go. Look at there goes the trickle of my troops coming out immediately. Like I said, that door is in the middle. But I only have one line of defense, if you will, in this example. So he was able to get to my auto turret relatively quickly. But he didn't factor in my enforcer. People forget the enforcer all the time because he looks like a small troop, and he comes out and does work on the supervillain. And I've really found the enforcer to be a great support troop to the auto turret. So again, we'll just go back to my base one more time so you can see what I'm talking about there. Oh, it's so slow. Load faster. My internet's kind of laggy today as well. So I've got the enforcer here. As soon as they walk into this room, I have my loony bin and the enforcer responding. I'm just trying to add confusion. If I can confuse people and keep them from focusing on the auto turret, I generally win defenses. So this has been a quick synopsis of how I use the auto turret defensively, and I will follow this up as soon as I can with how to take out the auto turret. Again, I've kind of... I said by way of foreshadowing, we're going to use either the supervillains with ranged attacks or the remote control explosives to do so. But that will be in future videos, so make sure you do subscribe, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and comment. Let us know if you disagree or agree, or how you would alter things in your base or in this base, in the case that we are watching a video about this base. And we will see you very soon in future videos.